In building the case for a war crimes tribunal against Bush, his cronies and Blair, we come to Breisach, Germany, situated on the Rhine River, with France across the river and Basel, Switzerland down the river. Unlike George W. Bush, Louis XIV initially established reforms that cut France's deficit and promoted industrial growth. Louis XIV improved France's taxation system and limited bizarre borrowing practices. Also, King Louis XIV, the Sun King, implemented reforms toward a more orderly and stable French government, forcing provincial nobles to relinquish their former political influence, and in this way he established a more centralized administration with the bourgeoisie, or middle class, as its foundation. Here we are at the Red Cup drinking lounge of the Guild of Gentlemen, where the Supreme Court and Parliament of Alsace met. They met here when Breisach was under French rule from 1674 to 1681. The Sun King Louis XIV himself was here in person to meet with them in 1673.
Unfortunately, the War of the Spanish Succession in the early 1700s sped up Louis XIV's decline as a ruler. In this conflict, the people thought the king placed his personal interest above his country's, as he wished to defend the right of his grandson Philip V to inherit the Spanish Empire. The long war was so costly, however, that it led to famine while the country went deeply into debt. The public naturally blamed Louis XIV for France's financial devastation.
In 1715, Louis XIV died of gangrene in Versailles. George W. Bush once joked about how happy he was to be among the so-called haves and have-mores, meaning the very wealthy and ultra-rich. But it was not the extremely rich who suffered from the disastrous Iraq War. This region of Alsace, where France meets Germany, is now at peace. But in Iraq, there has been no peace since the US-led invasion in 2003. Over 7,700 people have been killed in 2013 alone, from the countries remaining out of control. Bush, like Louis XIV, left his country in unparalleled debt. Who will pay for this debt? And who benefits by the US military-industrial establishment and its current $600 billion annual budget? What kind of people could promote an exaggerated suggestion of American exceptionalism at a time when the world becomes ever more connected?
Los.
Connected.
Nochmal.
Connected.
Nochmal.
Connected.
Nochmal.
Connected.
Nochmal.
Connected.
Nochmal richtig.
Connected.
Jetzt richtig.
Connected. Just who is running the US after all?